Anyways, I'm like, I'm looking at my hair and I'm like, it's just doing it. It's not doing me. It's just doing it. Okay. But no, one of the things I want to talk about tonight is this right here. Like, I remember back in the days when I wanted to read all kinds of books, and I did. I read every book that we have down here in Phillips County. I went to the public library we had up in West Helena. I went to the public library we had up in Helena. I went up into the public library that we had up in, at the college. I went to all the libraries we had, um, and I was looking and looking and looking, and I read everything I could possibly read. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not that I was not trying to read books that were written by Caucasian people or anybody else. I read a whole lot of different books. But when I started to just scarf it down like bad hamburgers, but good hamburgers, like I was sucking down everything because I didn't even know it was that many black authors. Like it was a introduction. I was young. I was in let me see. I've been writing poetry since I was in the sixth grade at least. Um, Writing both poetry and music, and then books that came later. So I wrote poetry and music all the way up until my about my 20s, and after that, probably early 30s is when I started writing. As far as it would be novels, but before that, I just wrote those two things. But I read everything. I've always loved reading. And so that's why I say I think this is so important. That's why I want us to bridge a gap and actually just work together. I don't care who you are. Like I said, and I don't have anything against anybody who is not a person of color coming in and supporting, you know what I'm saying? Or suggesting book titles. This is about just reading, enjoying a good book. And like I said, making it where I remember there being books that I could not get because either I couldn't get it on, like when they had like the interlibrary loan thing, because it was a little different back then. I was born in '83. Just let you know. So you're trying to get the book, but you can't get the book, and then certain books were not being allowed there. Then some books will be banned because of whatever reason, and all this other different stuff. But like I said, whenever we bring some stuff to the table, I have a whole thing that I'm planning on putting together. And so, in order for me to do it the way I'm trying to do it, I'm trying to make sure I can actually probably write for grants and things like that so that people, even if you cannot afford it, I want to be able to allow other people to be able to read. I just want us to read. And I cannot remember what was it. It was some kind of program that we had. I don't know if it was just here, but it was like read baby read. Um and if you know it, then comment. If you don't, then I understand because it could be something that was just we had here, but I think that it might have been not just here. It might have been a program that somebody had, and it was in quite a few places, especially in places where um the people inside of that the economy was not that well, which that's for all of us, but especially in smaller cities where there's not that much, the economic growth is not as good. So but I just want us to be able to do that and then be able to have writers come to the platform to be able to talk to those people. That's one of the things I want to be able to do too. Um and and just have conversation with. I can say, and I will say it again and again and again, and I've told Darlene herself, when just having a good conversation with her. If it was not for her, I wouldn't be sitting here to having this conversation right here now. I'm an author myself. And for the most part, I never thought to publish. I never thought, because as far as I was thinking, I was like, yeah, I've seen Maya Angelou. I've seen Alice Walker. I've seen Nikki Giovanni. I've seen, what I'm saying, Gwendolyn Brooks. I've seen all these different people, but they're not me and I'm not them. And people like me don't do that. And she showed up in my life and she said, yes, we do. So, in order to let people know, like I said, we're trying to open it up and broaden this thing up. Okay? So that we can understand, because our next set of leaders, readers, educators, all of that stuff, they're coming in now. Okay? So what we're doing with this time, how we educate them, what we share. Um at this point, we're trying to give them the power, the empowerment that comes with being able to read and be educated. um But more than that, after we get past that point, we want to give them the audacity to believe it and then turn around and achieve it. So that's why I said, come on. If you want to join a train, join this one right here. Support this one. This one right here, for the most part, it's free. We're not asking for nothing. All I'm wanting you to do is support this and share this as much as you can. People of color, read. Come on now. Let's do this.